What's up, YouTube? Brian back here again, bringing you guys another Call of Duty news video. I know we didn't have a video yesterday, and it kind of sucks because everything started yesterday. It really started to get under. It really just started to kick off yesterday, and also on Monday after I already had uploaded the video. So yeah, it didn't feel so good yesterday, but now we're back. We're gonna bring this video. Got a really special video recording today as well. That'll go up on Friday, I believe, if all things go correctly. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, we had a lot of stuff happen in the last 2 days since I uploaded last. So we're on the Google Docs from CWL Intel. I'll leave their Twitter in the description. Their pinned tweet is a Google Docs, Google Sheets document that is charting all of the announcements from all the players and all that other stuff that's going on. I almost said nonsense, but it's not nonsense. So it really all started right under Arcides removing United, but he added it back. So all of this stuff happened in the last 2 days, or since my video went live on Monday. So a lot of things happened, and we're gonna get on this one specifically here in a minute, which is wild. It absolutely blows my mind. So let's look at this. So GodRx, let's go through all the free agents before we go into anything else. So GodRx, Lacefield, Decimate, Joe, Temp, another really important one, and Cammy have all announced free agency. Decimates is a little bit different. I believe Decimates is more of he was offered a spot on Envy, but he wants to explore all of his options, and I think Hastro, of all people, would let him do that. So he's going to explore his options for the CDL, hopefully maybe get a starting spot somewhere, which I think is what he's looking for, but I'm pretty sure he was probably offered a spot on the bench for the Envy franchise if I had to take a shot at it. But a lot of talent. Temp is probably the biggest one. I would say the biggest one announced thus far, because we haven't really had a big time I'm a free agent announcement. I think our accuracy is up there as one of them as well. But other than that, we haven't really had I'm a free agent, come and get me type of guy with as big as Temp. He's the biggest one by far. So he will not be going back to Splice. And we figured that out, and the early roster signing period is underway. It started on Monday. It will end, I believe, on next Tuesday. I think Tuesday is the start. Yeah. September 3rd, Tuesday, September 3rd is the start of the full free agency where anybody can sign anybody. Hopefully we'll have all of our teams by then. I'm surprised we haven't had any other announcements this week as far as franchises go, so maybe as we get closer and closer to the 3rd, we'll get those announcements. But yeah, Temp not staying with Splice is not necessarily a surprise, because if they were going to be relocating, I don't think Toronto is a place that Temp wants to be. I think that one of the California franchises, the Atlanta franchise, any of those will go to the franchise list here. New York, maybe. Dallas, probably not. Paris, he won't. I doubt it if they make him travel. LA, potentially yes. Atlanta, potentially yes. Probably not Minnesota. Florida, probably. The other LA team, yes. And then we've also got a couple more that are going to get announced that we don't really know who's going to go where. So back to the movement. So we won't find out until the 3rd where people are going to go. And whether we're going to get individual announcements or full team announcements is yet to be seen. So a lot of things moving, a lot of parts moving, a lot of teams getting the movement on. Minnesota, Call of Duty Minnesota posted a video on their Twitter today talking about that they have began talks with free agents. I would imagine that this is a period for the teams that weren't in the CWL to start having initial interactions with all the different free agents. And obviously they can't talk to players under contract, so they are talking to these players that have already announced free agency. So it'll be interesting to see when September 3rd rolls around how many rosters are already set, or if any of them are already set, and how we move from there. It'll be pretty interesting to see. The biggest news, in my opinion, is this one right here, and that was the announcement of Halo console GOAT, Ogre 2, the reason Crim 6 made the Pursuit. is to chase this man and his championships. Over pretty much a decade, he dominated Halo and console esports. Probably the greatest console player to ever pick up a controller. Ogre 2 was named the general manager of the Florida team. I know my webcam's in the way, but Ogre 2 is officially the general manager, so he will oversee the signings and all that other stuff that happens with the Florida franchise. And obviously Florida's owned by Misfits, which is also very interesting to see in Call of Duty. I'm really happy to see people like that joining the scene and whatnot. So, I mean, to have a series made pretty much because of you, like the pursuit that Crim6 has been chasing Ogre 2's championships. I mean, he's only like, I think 7 off of Ogre 2. I think he's got 33, and Ogre 2 had like 40. So, to have a series pretty much dedicated to your success and wanting to catch up and accomplish what you've accomplished is a pretty big thing. And Crim says it himself, like, you can consider him or Damon the GOAT, but really the real GOAT on console is Ogre 2. So him coming to the Call of Duty scene is actually really, really big. I hope maybe one day I'll get to meet and talk to him. That would be really, really cool. Other non-free agent moves, Marky B has signed to Toronto in some way, shape, or form. Toronto posted about a strategic coach, and Marky B put that in his bio, and then later removed it and says he just works for Toronto. So he's going to be staying with the Splice guys as their coach, or in some shape, form, capacity of who knows what. So the only thing that we know is that Marky B is with Toronto, and that's pretty cool. So the last one we've got on this list is Ricky. Ricky removed LG from his bio name. Obviously, LG hasn't really been in talks to get a franchise spot, so Ricky's probably looking to either player coach. He's loading that 2v1 against UIU onto his portfolio as we speak, getting that ready, showing the franchises that he still got it, and then he can still bring the passion and the fire. So it'll be interesting to see if Ricky turns up somewhere. I really think there's going to be a lot of coaches that we saw on the scene get signed, whether that be Ricky. Bevels could be a good S&D player, I think. It's just going to be interesting to see all the different people that are going to be on these rosters. It's going to be really, really fun to watch this roster period. I think it's going to be different from the roster manias that we've been a part of, but I think it's going to be as interesting, if not more, to watch and see how these franchises work, because we're basically starting over. Like, some of these teams have no rosters. So, like, this is the biggest and probably the most organized roster mania we've ever had. So it's really interesting to see where everybody's going to go and who's going to team with who and how things are going to work that way. Are the GMs going to primarily just sign the people they want, or are the GMs going to kind of like take the players' advice on, like, we want these guys for roles and blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of the stuff that I'm really looking at. But yeah, as far as roster announcements go, I would say Temp is the biggest. I'd say GodRX is a big one too, because he's played really good since from Anaheim on. He's been really, really solid. Exotic's a big one. He played pretty solid. Apathy, obviously, everybody knows that he comes into form towards champs. I mean, all the old phase guys that got loaned. Priest is a big one. Priest might actually be, to me, the biggest one. Wherever he goes will be really cool, because I feel like you could build a solid team around him, and that would be dope. Accuracy is another one. That's probably a pretty big one. Other than that, I really think Pharaoh will be interesting to see where he goes. The former, he was a beast in World War II, so I think Modern Warfare is going to lean more towards World War II in comparison to the last two games that we've had. I think pace-wise, it'll be more like World War II, but I think it'll be faster. I think it'll be like a happy medium, like BO2 level, BO2 speed. So right now we got team changes. We haven't really had very much. All the loans are over. Revan's going to New York to coach. Loan over. It's just pretty much a bunch of loans are done, and Nothing else really happening yet. Franchises, we still don't have a lot of GMs. Splice has a GM. Obviously, Florida has one now. They haven't updated it, but Florida does have a GM now. Other than that, we haven't really seen very many acquisitions. So we'll have to see as we get closer to September 3rd, and people are gonna. I just have this weird feeling that people are gonna start just rolling in. Announcements are gonna start rolling in over the next few days, and we're gonna have a lot of people coming in, and just. It might be a busy week. It might be a busy week leading into the 3rd, and a lot of things happening. We don't know about broadcast talent yet either. I'm sure they're figuring their things out. I would be shocked and surprised to see a casting a talent group without Maven and Merc and the guys that have pretty much been there. Like Maven's been here for a long time. Merc played and then came into the desk, and then came into the casting booth, and then you had the desk. It's a nameless study. Katie, all of those. Pac-Man. I don't want to leave Pac out, but yeah, so many people that I would be shocked if they weren't there next year. So obviously we got to wait for all that stuff to happen, and we'll see what happens when we get there. But I think that's going to do it for this video, guys. And obviously more stuff's going to be coming as the days go on. Hopefully we'll get some big announcements today. If not, I'll have to think of something to do for tomorrow, but that's fine. I think I've got an idea that I could run with. So if you did like this video, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you know every time that I upload a video. So thank you guys for watching again, and we will be back tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Peace.